Welcome, Early American Literature friends. This video is a guide to the reading and assignment schedule. You see here, if you go into the Fall 2023 syllabus schedule and exams and click on reading and assignment schedule, this is what you'll get. This is just going to guide you. What I want to do in this video is guide you through the basic chronology, the timeline for our reading and assignments, and then I want to dig a little deeper into each of those assignments. You can see right here, we start on August 14th, and the course is set up to essentially for you to check in and do work 3 times a week. This class is mostly asynchronous. You don't have to do this on the assigned days. It's set up so that you can do the reading and the papers essentially on your own time. The timeline, the way it's set up here, the schedule is just set up as if we met Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You spent 45 minutes to an hour doing some work that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's really designed for you to go through the class that way. But it's also set up so that you can mostly go through it on your own time, with the exception of the exams and the research paper. You see here, you've got Monday, August 14th. And what you need to do on the August 14th is watch the first announcement, and then these 2 videos, this video and the syllabus video. That'll as if it was the first day of class. And then we will start rolling through the semester. We'll do the 1600s stuff that we're going to cover in this class. John Smith, who helped found the Virginia Company, the Virginia Colony in Virginia. William Bradford, who is the governor of the Plymouth Plantation. We're going to read some from John Smith's General History of Virginia, including the scene where Pocahontas saves him. Then William Bradford, who was the governor of Plymouth Plantation, came over on the Mayflower. We're going to read several sections from his Plymouth Plantation. And then we are going to jump forward into about 40 years forward into the later 1600s and deal with the entire Mary Rowlandson, A Narrative of the Captivity and Restoration. Mary Rowlandson is taken captive by Native Americans, held prisoner for about 10 weeks, and then traded back during King Philip's War, which was one of the last wars of Native American resistance against the colonists in New England. And then we'll have Exam 1. Exam 1 will cover Smith, Bradford, and Rowlandson. So that Exam 1 is due on Monday, August 28th. You will have, what will happen on that day is sometime right around lunchtime, right around noon, I'll make the exam visible. You'll have from noon to midnight to complete the exam and turn it in. It's only 5 answers. You'll have 5 answers at the end of the exam. Then we will go forward with William Byrd and his History of the Dividing Line. William Byrd is from the 1730s. William Byrd helped survey the state, what will become the state line between Virginia and North Carolina. Then we will jump into the 1760s, 1770s with Hector St. John de Crevecoeur and his Letters from an American Farmer. We'll read letter 3. You see on September 4th, Labor Day. And then I will get into the 1800s and spend the rest of the semester in the 1800s, beginning with Rip Van Winkle, Young Goodman Brown. And then the second exam will cover Byrd, de Crevecoeur, Irving, and Hawthorne. So you got the second exam there on Monday, September 11th. Same thing, it'll be open from noon to midnight. You'll turn it in sometime in that time window. And then we will get into the last batch of stuff that will be on the final exam. Frederick Douglass's Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, a poem and 2 stories by Edgar Allan Poe, the Spring chapter from Henry David Thoreau's book Walden, 6 chapters from Harriet Jacobs' Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl, and then we'll end with Emily Dickinson's poems. And on September 25th, the research paper is due. And so those are the fixed dates that things are due. There's 4 dates that things are due. Exam 1, Exam 2, the research paper, and then the final exam will be Wednesday, October 4th, and it will cover Douglass, Poe, Thoreau, Jacobs, and Dickinson. So that gives you the fixed dates and of when work is due. If you think back to the other video, to the syllabus video, what I want to do now is walk you through the particular assignments for the course. The exams will, when the exams are due, they will appear in the syllabus schedule and exams module. There's I'll make exam 1 visible to you under this module on the date on the relevant date. Exam 2, you get to September 11th. Exam 2, I'll make it visible and available to you from noon to midnight. And then the final exam, same thing. When we get to that final exam date on Wednesday, October 4th, I'll make it visible to you right here. So that's the exams. That's where they'll be. I will give you a review for each of those exams a few days before it's due, so you'll have some sense of what's on it and how to answer the questions at what I'm grading for, some kind of grading rubric. The research paper, you will see that below the syllabus schedule and exams module, there's a weekly setup. The week of August 14th, the week of August 21st, the week of August 28th, and we just roll through the semester going week by week, and all the readings are in there. The response topics, which I'll get into in just a second, and then you get down here, all the terminology that you will need for the exams is in where it says course terminology and optional film response. The course terminology is the top link in there. If you click on that, you will see right there where it says course terminology. Here's all the terms for the course in alphabetical order. Antebellum era, Bildungsroman, captivity narrative. We're going to work through all of these as we go through the semester. You go back to the table of contents, and then down below that, where it says course terminology and optional film response, is research paper guidelines and information. You click on that, and you've got all the information, including a video to guide you through how to complete the research paper for this course. There's the research paper guidelines and rubric, and then there's a batch of options in option 1, and then a batch of options in option 2, and then a couple of guides to how to format and cite your research paper. So all that research paper information is over here where it's in the module that says research paper guidelines and information. And again, that is due September 25th. We don't have anything else due that day, any other work that day, because it's just devoted to getting that research paper finished up and turned in. So that's the exams and the research paper. That leaves the 50%, the 5 response papers. The way that you will complete the response papers, this is sometimes confusing to people because they don't look deep enough into the assignments. There is a response option for everything that we are going to be reading, beginning with, you see, the first few things we're going to read are John Smith, William Bradford, and Mary Rowlandson. Well, you go into the weekly modules, you go into the John Smith module, and you will see there's a video, a short discussion that I made for you for John Smith to help guide you through the reading. Well, then here's the reading. There's a link to the reading in case you don't have a book. Here it is online for you, made available for you. But then below that, in each one of these is a response paper option. You click on the response paper option and you will see it gives you a writing prompt. In this one, it's about John Smith and how he presents himself in his writing. But then it says text from August 16th. Well, that's the day that is on the syllabus you're supposed to read the John Smith. The response is due August 21st, 550 words. That tells you when you need to read this, if you want to write this paper, when you write it, and when it's due. It's after August 21st. No more John Smith papers. We move on to the next one. If you wanted to write a John Smith paper, you need to turn it in by August 21st before midnight. It needs to be around 550 words. Doesn't have to be exactly 550 words. If you're under 500 words, you probably need a little more detail, a little more examples and evidence from the reading. If you're up to 900 words, you probably need to calm down a little bit. 550 words just gives you a ballpark to aim at, somewhere around there. But let's say that you decide you don't want to write about John, so you're like, I don't really understand this. This is old and hard to understand. Well, all right. You jump down to William Bradford. Next thing we're going to be reading on the schedule. You roll past Smith and you're like, I don't really like that. I don't want to write about that. All right. Next thing is Bradford. You get down to Bradford. You've got a video discussion of Bradford, as a short little discussion of it. Links to the readings, links to the chapters that we're going to read, like First Thanksgiving, the Pequot War, and then you've got a response paper option with Bradford, and it tells you the text is from August 18th. The response, if you want to write it, is due August 21st before midnight, 550 words. What you need to do as we go through the semester, you do not write all of these. Please do not write all of these. You will be so angry and frustrated with me, and I will be angry and frustrated with you because you're making me grade all these extra papers. What you do as we go through the semester is pick 5. Pick the 5 that you understand the best, or pick the 5 that you feel like you can write about. Pick the 5 prompts that you're like, this makes sense to me. I could easily answer this prompt. As we go through the semester, pick the prompts. Let's say you don't want to do Smith and you don't want to do Bradford. You're like, I don't like those early guys. I don't like the 1600s, the early 1600s. Well, all right, you get to Mary Rowlandson, and you are totally into Mary Rowlandson. You're like, I understand what's happening here. Well, all right, Mary Rowlandson, it's from August 21st to 25th. The response paper's due August 30th, 550 words. So you start with Rowlandson, and that's your first one, and you go from there. That's fine too. All you've got to do is pick 5. You can see here there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There should be 12 response paper options for you, plus the optional film response, which is down there with the course terminology. So you got 12 or 13 to pick from. All you need to do is pick 5 as we go through the semester. You pick the 5 that you want to write. You turn them in on the date that the response paper tells you they are due, and that's going to be different for each one because they match as we're rolling through the semester. Like the Thoreau response, if you want to write the Thoreau response, well, it's going to be due September 27th. Harriet Jacobs is going to be due October 2nd. The Emily Dickinson one, the last one of the semester, is due October 3rd, the next day. So if you get to the end and you're having to do the last 5, you're going to be in a little bit of a push, and I hope you don't do that. But you pick 5 of these 12 or 13 options. You pick whichever 5 you want to write, and you turn them in on the individual due date that is listed on that response option. You do that 5 times, that gets you 50% of the grade. So the response papers are 50% of the grade. The exams are 10% apiece, so that's 30 more percent. The research paper is another 10%, so that's 50 plus 30 plus 10, that's 90%. And then the last 10% is participation, where I go in and you've turned in all your work. I go in and check in D2L that you've been looking at the readings and accessing them and the discussion videos and those kinds of things, and that's how I will get your last 10%. That is the grade breakdown and what the work of the course is going to look like. The 3 exams that are on August 28th, September 11th, and October 4th. The research paper that's going to be due on September 25th, and there is a video guide for that. And then the 5 response papers that you turn in as on a rolling basis as we roll through the semester, the 5 that you pick. I hope that helps you understand the work of the class, both the readings and the writings that you're going to do over the course of the semester. If you have questions about this, especially if you're confused about the response papers, please don't hesitate to be in touch with me. I'll be happy to help you or to clear up anything I can. I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all this semester about the readings and reading your writing and your thoughts about the things that we're going to read. And again, if I can help you, please just let me know.